All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. 2 years ago, when Shaheen Holloway returned to his alma mater as their men's basketball coach, he was as hot as a head coach could be. You think about it, Holloway had just led St. Peter's to the Elite Eight as they became the first 15 seed in the history of the NCAA tournament to make it that far. But in taking over at Seton Hall, his first year was a work in progress as the Pirates would win 17 games overall and 10 within the Big East, which was good enough for them to earn an NIT bid. But after an up and down non conference slate to begin this season, Seton Hall and Holloway served notice when they upset the defending national champion Connecticut Huskies to begin Big East play. Now, in all, so far, the Pirates have matched their win total this season from a year ago, both overall and within the conference. And as Seton Hall is currently 17-9, have they done enough to get themselves an NCAA tournament bid next month? You're going to look at it. They've defeated Connecticut. They got the rematch with UConn coming up, which is going to be huge. They split with Marquette. They split with Providence, but those wins over both Marquette and Providence should help their cause. I know that the Pirates did sweep St. John's, and you look at it right now, if that's going to stand for anything, the Johnnies are currently eighth in the Big East. They're 7-9 within the conference, and for the sake of argument, if St. John's wins those two games, we're having a different conversation, probably about the Red Storm right now, in comparison to their chances for the NCAA tournament. But nonetheless, getting back to Seton Hall, this is a club. They're currently fourth within the Big East. You look at the three teams that are ahead of them: UConn, Marquette, and Creighton. They're all ranked, and they're all locks, in my opinion, to make the NCAA tournament next month. Seton Hall, they've won 10 games so far. Still, they got several games coming down the pike to finish regular season play before they head to the Garden next month. But I'll touch on that in a moment. But, you think about Shaheen Holloway and you think about what he did first as, secondly, as an assistant coach at Seton Hall, but then first as a player. And of course, he was one of those guards for Tommy Amaker back in 2000 when the Pirates got to the Sweet 16 after they upset Temple. And he's relying on his guards once again: Kadary, Richmond, Alamir Dawes, and of course, Dre Davis. And you know what? You look at the way Seton Hall plays, it's kind of like Holloway. It's not flashy, but you know what? They're gritty as a team, and they just simply go out there and do their job and win games. And they've got a very interesting slate coming up, and they have not played since last Sunday, so they've had some time off. They're hosting Butler tomorrow night. That's a big game because you look at Butler. Butler's still trying to hold on to their chances to try to make the NCAA tournament. They've got some work cut out for them if they're going to do that. And then next Wednesday at Creighton, not going to be an easy game. They're at UConn, on the first Sunday in March. And like I said, UConn not only is going to be looking for revenge, if you will, but going up there and having to face that team is always a tough task, especially now when we're talking about a team that's been in the top five for the bulk of the year. Then they're home for Villanova, and they lost to Villanova, and they lost to Villanova bad earlier this season to Seton Hall. Matter of fact, it was just last week, rather. They got blown out by 26, in Philadelphia by the Wildcats, and then of course they finish up with DePaul. And of course, at this point, unfortunately for DePaul, they have become a homecoming game, if you will, for everybody else within the Big East. So if you're Seton Hall and you've got 5 games left in your Big East conference play, you're 17-9 right now. If you can find a way, in my opinion, to go 3-2, if not better, over these last 5 games, I definitely think it helps your cause. For the sake of argument, going 5-2 would put Seton Hall at 20-11 to finish the regular season, and then it would make them 13-7 within the Big East Conference, going to New York City for the Big East tournament. But I'll tell you like this: the Big East, I know that things have changed, over the last 10 years because of realignment, but the non-football schools clearly stuck together, and this is still a legitimate basketball conference. We've seen national champions, multiple national champions, come out of this league in the last couple of years. But nonetheless, getting back to what I'm saying about Seton Hall, if they finish in that top five in the Big East, I think they have a darn good shot to get to the NCAA tournament. And if they can find a way to win a game or two next month at the Garden, that only enhances their chances. Shaheen Holloway is building off of what Kevin Willard had there at Seton Hall prior to him, and being an assistant coach under him, and now of course Shaheen understands it because he was a very solid guard at Seton Hall once upon a time. He's a local guy from the New York area, and we saw what he could do briefly at St. Peter's, and I think now coming back to his alma mater, he understands things right there. He understands the process. And you know what? He's going to get kids that fit into his mold. And we've seen it so far. So I think, Seton Hall is definitely trending upward. If they could finish on a positive note for here in the regular season, heading into the Big East tournament, like I said, I do think that the Pirates will go dancing. And of course, a couple of years ago, we saw what Shaheen Holloway, or what a Shaheen Holloway coach team could do on the NCAA tournament stage. He did it at St. Peter's. Let's see what he and his Pirates have in store should they get to the tournament next month. But folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now, you can check it out. Drop a line to be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.